even know if she's serious. Oh, you don't even know if she's serious.
All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your favorite podcast. It's Survival of the Fittest. It's the soup du jour. I'm Roberto Trevino, your chef at the mic today. Let me tell you, today I have a treat for y'all because I've been telling you that we wanted to bring this very special person onto the podcast, and guess what? Lo logramos. We're here today with Orlando Foodie Girl. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is going to be epic, because not only is she here and we're in her like spectacular kitchen. I brought some Thai cookies. You got to go with the crunch, you got to go with the sweet and the salty. ¿Qué opina?
I think they're fantastic. I thought they were Vietnamese. You said no, they're Thai. I said they're kind of Puerto Rican. So I think they're fantastic. They're crunchy. But I'm more honored that you said a special person. Like, I'm literally feeling my heart radiate. So thank you so much.
No,
Chef.
are you kidding? And I believe that, not only because, I really got to know you through your Instagram, I'll be honest with you. But slowly but surely, I got to meet you, and we've dined together, and I've heard your story, and I think it's a spectacular story. And honestly, I would love to just share it with the people, because the fact that you write and you're on the radio. I mean, you do a regular radio show, right?
Yeah, I have a radio segment on WJRR 101.1 Rock. It comes out on Fridays, and we talk about the best and most unique spots in Central Florida. We do giveaways, and we just rock it out and have a good time.
And and ultimately that's what it's all about. And I think you do that so well. One thing I've always noticed about your Instagram is like, when people see you and when I see you, I always kind of go like, oh my God, she's like having so much fun. You're so just animated and so wonderful, and you just look at the way you kind of hold your eyes and the way you look at food and when you taste things. It's just genuine, and I love it,
Yeah, I'm having fun, so.
Well, and you know what? And it shows. Yeah, and not all the time can you relate that with just a picture, and you do. And that's wonderful.
Well, when you go into a restaurant and you're showcasing the food, let me get this cookie. I'm sorry. When you're going into a restaurant and you are, showcasing this food, you really want to make sure that what you're seeing, the textures, the flavors, radiate into the picture. And so I make sure that when I'm shooting the photo or the video, that I'm seeing the details, that I want to eat it. If I want to eat it, then hopefully you want to eat it. If you don't want to eat it, then maybe you got to clean your screen a little bit, but the goal is to make you hungry. So.
And that's the secret of your success, possibly, right?
It is, yep.
Well, that's what we want to know here on Survival of the Fittest Soup du jour. It's like, what makes you so successful? Let me ask you this. Central Florida, not necessarily known for its restaurants. For a long time, it was known for its parks, but now that's changing. I believe that. I'm a chef here in Central Florida and in Orlando. And I think Orlando is truly becoming one of the great food cities, not only of Florida, but of the East Coast and soon of the country,
Absolutely. I will tell you right now, I have seen the atmosphere of foodies really influence restaurants to peak their, what they're doing to a higher level. I see restaurants that maybe before were just creating tasty dishes. Now they're creating beautiful presentations. They're making the restaurants beautiful and Instagrammable. But I'm also noticing a lot of restaurant owners from larger markets coming into Central Florida to really make an impact here and set a footprint in at a time where the restaurant industry is growing and skyrocketing.
And I believe like the restaurants have a lot to do with that, but also we live in a city that is just so food driven, and it's the public that truly, and it's like Instagram, and it's like you, an influencer like you in the food world, that has kind of taken that message out there and sort of going beyond the city limits, which I think is incredible. And it's kind of really the food scene, and it's the public, the dining public, that's giving the chefs and the restaurateurs a stage to do their thing,
Absolutely. I will tell you, though, that here in Central Florida, you could pretty much find anything you want. It's just a matter of discovering it. I've been to hundreds and hundreds of restaurants here in Central Florida, and people say, oh, I didn't know that we had mom and pop shops. I've seen 2 or 3. I thought there was just chains, and I look at them like, ooh, you need to drive, because everywhere you go, you're seeing these new restaurants with restaurant owners really coming out and showing their talents and their arts and in what they're creating for food. So yeah, I'm excited to be part of this spike in growth here in Central Florida for sure.
No, for sure. And trends, what do you see as the new trends in the restaurants and the chefs?
Fancy presentations, for sure. You'll see. I just noticed I said for sure like 4 times. I must be really excited. No, but what I'm noticing is beautiful presentations, obviously delicious food, things that are showcased on larger platters. You have, drink presentations that are held by little men. You have beautiful restaurants that are doing little special touches. I've been gifted scarves at restaurants. I've been gifted roses at restaurants. And so I see the restaurant industry going to a higher level in order to really make an impact in the market and stand out.
And not only restaurants, but even food trucks, like with great chefs, going out there to do their thing. I mean, I'm a believer in a chef is a chef is a chef, and no matter where you put them, they're going to cook. They're going to fulfill that drive that took them to that place in the, that very spot in the first place. I love to cook. I love to cook my food for my guest. And I just see that even in the food trucks around here. I mean, I think we're very privileged to be part of an exciting food scene, here in Orlando. And, and obviously it spreads out into some of the suburbs and some of the surrounding towns around here. And really, I mean, and I almost feel like it's just the beginning. I really do.
I'll tell you what I love about the food trucks. It's the people who own it. Oftentimes it's families running these food trucks. You see the mom, you see the dad, you see the child, the teenager in the kitchen cooking the burgers, the father's out bringing the supplies in, the mom's teaching her daughter. And it's so strong for families that anytime I go to a food truck, I always kind of watch what's happening on the inside. And for me, it's just beautiful because it's something different than you would see walking into like a Chili's or an Uno's. It's truly a family working together to succeed and to make sure they can pay for ballet shoes and that they can pay for their son's football classes and for, sometimes even just the water. And they work so hard. So a lot of love and passion comes out of a food truck just because of what it symbolizes. And oftentimes it's family, it's friends working together to make something grow.
That's nice. Well put. I mean, because there's just so much effort and so much heart behind what we do, in the food. And, I consider that even, everybody who's right now involved in it and somehow influencing what chefs are doing, I know when a chef sees you come in the restaurant, they get excited. I was with you at an Indian restaurant recently at Tabla, and they were just all over you. They love you. The chef was just like, oh, how dare you not tell me you're coming? And, it's just so exciting.
It is. I think what happens with these restaurants is they're so excited when I walk in because it's their chance to shine. They know when I go in there, I'm going to make sure that they're shining, that everything that represents who they are is going to be displayed. So when I walk in, it's that sense of like, oh, I've been discovered, or, oh, you're here, and now I get to showcase who I really am, what my art is, what flavors really come from my soul. And yeah, so that's why you see the excitement. It's not that I'm anything special. It's just that I'm showcasing them, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, the fact that they get so excited to have you in there, it just says a lot about what you do. I mean, you have what I like to call the Midas touch. Like you'll mark the spot and you touch it and it turns to gold. Tell me a little bit about when you visit somebody, they actually boom.
Well, I mean, for example, we were just at Palcampo.
Oh,
you were
yes.
actually there with me, and so I put that up a few days ago, maybe about 3 days ago. It's already been seen by 25,000 people. Over 1,000 people shared it to their friends.
Wow.
It's been saved by 250 people. Even if 1/4 of those people show up in the next month, imagine the impact that has on that restaurant. So when I go into a restaurant, they know it's their opportunity. And for Palcampo, I mean, they boomed, they succeeded, and they really took it serious. They really wanted to show what they had. And so when you look at Instagram, you'll see beautiful presentations. And, I was kind of honored to be part of that and part of that excitement. And I'm so glad that you went there with me. And actually, you and a friend were the ones who said, hey, you got to come out here. So I'm really excited that you made me part of that experience.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Tú sabes, los sabores de Puerto Rico son los sabores de Puerto Rico, and Pal Campo does a really, really good job. And I'm just so happy to be able to say that, and wholeheartedly say it, because it's like you said, the presentation, the little almost gimmicky sort of presentation, how they serve it. Was it a sangria or a parcha? And it had a little spigot.
They did. They had a little jibaro man.
Right.
Holding a bottle. His legs were held on to the ground. Obviously, somehow that iron, creation was holding his feet on the ground, and his arms were holding this sangria bottle that was made of parcha and tamarindo.
Don't remind me how delicious that was.
Yes, and then coming out of the side of his leg, I'm not sure what the intentions were with that, but the side of his leg was a little spigot, and it poured out the drink. I've never seen that, and for me, that was just so exciting because I love to eat delicious food. If you turn it into a piece of art, I've just had an experience. One makes me satisfied, it makes me full. The other one stays in my mind as almost like a museum experience, a museum display with food.
Right.
What could be better than that?
Yeah, no, I love that. And also the interactive sort of angle with the guests then becoming part of the entire experience of the dining, like whether it be, where were we when we had that? I guess we were at Tabla. We were having those little, I forget, it was some kind of Indian street food. There were little puffs that you had to kind of like poke a little hole and then you filled them with the potatoes. Those kind of things I love. When the guests, and everyone had one on the table. I saw anybody that was dining there had one on the table, and the interaction, and everyone's kind of filling them up for each other with the different sauces. I think that's so cool.
It's panipuri. We had panipuri.
There you go.
And I'll tell you what I loved. See, we grow up, but we still want to play. So as adults, we always want to play. And for me, that's my opportunity to play with my food. So here, I get to get the little, actually, I think I had you do it for me. You took a little poof and you're breaking it open. I'm getting a video and you're pouring all the spices in there and the little sauces. And then when you put it in your mouth, it just completely explodes with flavor. I mean, that was fun.
Yeah, delicious too.
Theme parks are cool. That was next level.
Yeah, I agree. And, and this is exactly why I'm excited to just be part of the Orlando food scene. It's just that exciting, and there are no rules, and that's the best part, Anything you have on your agenda in the near future as far as like restaurants or what you're trying to... I'm kind of excited to hear this.
Actually, I have been reached out to, I think about 7 times this week, by people asking me if I'm going to the Et Hotel for the Salt and Cellar restaurant. There's a new chef who is now in town, and he is creating this fantastic menu with even a tomahawk steak covered in 24-karat gold. Gosh, an incredible menu for sure. But I don't know what it is yet. I just know I'm going Friday, and it'll be exciting. And I'm honored that they invited me out to that. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh, for sure, you'll have to let me know. Only because I'm not a big fan of the whole gold thing, but there's a level of luxury to it. And when people get gold on their food, I think they're transported to pure luxe. It's like.
Yeah, I think part of it too is the fact that they think you're so special, your food is coated in gold. So for me, it's like I'd rather you make it into a bracelet, but if you want me to eat it, I understand. That's fine. I'll eat my bracelet. It's fine.
So that's definitely, and this chef he comes from, do we know? I mean,
Yeah, we do. Actually, I'm looking it up right now as we speak. I know that he's an Asian chef. Let's find out exactly where he came from.
Well, I mean, and furthermore, I mean, the fact that it's new and people are telling you have to go, that means that it's exciting.
Yeah, let's see.
People are totally...
Let's see a little bit about this chef. He was born in Korea and raised in Aspen, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
He's a Michelin star award-winning chef, Chef Akira, back. He's bringing a sense of adventure and boundless creativity to his culinary creations. This is how they've described it to me. And his name is synonymous with modern Japanese cuisine and exquisite taste in the restaurant and hospitality industry. He's known for expertly utilizing rare and exotic ingredients. I guess gold is one of those rare and exotic ingredients. Chef Back has since brought his culinary experience and artistry across the globe, opening critically acclaimed restaurants in Dubai, Beverly Hills, San Diego. You know about San Diego.
I love the good life.
Yes. In the North Islands, Toronto, Singapore, Seoul, and now here in Orlando. So we were talking about how the scene here in Orlando is elevated when we can say a chef that opened a restaurant in Dubai sees the value and opportunity of growth here in Orlando to open a restaurant here. That says a lot about what's happening here in Central Florida.
I think that's totally right. And, to hear that, I've heard of a restaurant on Sand Lake at the London House. Have you heard of this?
I have. I haven't been there, but I have heard of the London House.
I hear that there's a chef in there that is just killing it. An extra over the top kind of dining experience. Bucks.
Hey, London House, if you're listening today, you can invite me. I would be more than happy to come experience thy cuisine. But no, I have not been there yet. I've been hopping around all over the city, and people say, do you rest? No.
Yeah,
but
and you stay in great shape. You look great, and everyone knows that because your Instagram, you're just like, but
you're so
it's
kind.
and you do eat. I mean, how do you do it?
Bites, little bites,
little
bites of this, a little bite of that. And we can turn it into a song, a little bite of this, a little bite of that. But no, I try to make sure that I experience the food, I taste the food, but I don't overindulge in the food. And I want to make sure that I don't walk out feeling sick or heavy because I want to make sure that I walk out still enjoying the meal. And so I will try a little bit of everything, but it's literally that, a little bit of everything.
Well, and I'm such a big eater myself. I mean, I just go to town, every time. You put food in front of me, I'm like, let's graze.
Yeah. Oh, and I go to the gym. So that is one thing. As a foodie, a food influencer, a chef, a blogger, I will beg each of you, stay active, move around. Food is great. But if you could put food into a body that's been lifting a few weights and running a little bit, food just tastes so much better.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. No, but I try to stay in shape myself. It's never easy.
No, it's not easy.
It's one of those chores, but essential. And I think you're right. I mean, the better shape you are, the longer you'll last, and you can taste more food, and certainly cook more often.
Well, there are opportunities. I mean, you could even do squats in the shower, wash your hair, do squats, do push-ups against the wall, while conditioner is rinsing out.
Yeah.
There's a will, there's a way.
I like yoga.
Yoga's great. Fantastic, actually.
I just wish I could do it. It's one of those things, I just don't have the yoga body, but.
No, yoga is creating a body. So there is no yoga body. There's a yoga body that gets created by doing yoga. So you do have the yoga body. It's within your body and slowly becoming who you are.
It's so healthy. This is a healthy podcast today. Yeah. That's so cool. Now, I have like 100 million questions. How come there's not more ice cream shops in Orlando? I don't get it.
Well, there's a few of them. My favorite is Greenery Creamery. And I'll tell you why. Greenery Creamery has vegan options.
Okay.
And they have healthy options. And the ice creams are house-made. So when you have an ice cream that's passion fruit ice cream, it has passion fruit in it. It has the flavors of passion fruit. If it's coconut ice cream, it has coconut. It tastes like coconut. If it's rose ice cream, you're tasting that nectar of the rose. So for me, my favorite, and they have these charcoal cones, which charcoal is very healthy for you when you eat it anyway in your stomach. So for me, whenever I want a true ice cream experience that makes me walk out feeling fantastic, I go to Greenery Creamery. But there are other ice cream shops. There's the Twisty Treats. There's the Kelly's, there's Brewster's, there's many ice cream shops. They're kind of hidden in little nooks and crannies and have to be discovered.
You know, you remember a place called Farrell's, maybe? Do you remember that? It was just like a soda fountain ice cream. They used to have something called the Zoo, and they'd run out with this big bowl of ice cream and banana split looking thing. I just think to myself, like, man, if, you know, and I love to cook and I love to do food in open restaurants, but someday I think I might just open one of those soda fountain ice cream shops. I really think I might. You know, it just seems like it's something that makes people happy and it's fun. You know, I'm like, maybe, oh man, this is new for me, but I think it would be cool.
But you have to have vegan options because otherwise my stomach will hurt.
Right?
True.
Well, the vegan movement is so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like even the restaurant that you'd least expect to have vegetarian and vegan options are definitely recognizing that population. I mean, I grew up in a vegetarian household. I know what it's all about. And when I was young, your options were baked potato and broccoli every time, you know, and that's not the case anymore.
No. I love Impossible Burgers.
Right.
I think they're delicious. I prefer that over Beyond Meat. I love the quinoas. I love the, you know, getting the hummus and, you know, creating. There's so many options that you
Right.
can create as a vegan to really be nourished. The salads that have the beans in it and the nuts in it and the berries in it. I mean, that's so rich and flavorful. I don't know. I love cooking with almond flours and just special ingredients. So for me as a vegan, I was a vegan for several years. I had a fantastic time. I didn't feel like I was missing out on much. I'd make my own cauliflower pizzas and things of that sort. But then I became a food blogger and got tempted with one steak and just one little bite and one little bite. Eventually one bite turned to 2, which turned to 3, which turned to 40, and then it's no longer Jesslyn, the ambassador of the vegan festival. So, you know.
Well, that's where we actually kind of met, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
did.
You were the host or the ambassador,
Yeah.
but you were hosting the event, and I was just kind of doing a demo. I think I did some kind of some sandia or a watermelon gazpacho that day.
Yeah.
But we met that day.
Yeah, you were the fancy man up on that stage.
Yeah.
I mean, you just shined. I'm like, okay, I got to go meet that one and take a picture. Never did I imagine that, you know, several years later we would be friends. And so, yeah, it's exciting.
It's about 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow, time flies, and we still look great.
I know, fantastic. Look at you.
That's always the best way to put it, you know. Tell all of our listening audience, how do people follow you?
Oh, if you want to follow me on Instagram,
Definitely.
you would go to @OrlandoFoodieGirl.com. If you want to follow on TikTok, I'm @TheOrlandoFoodieGirl.com. On Facebook, I'm Orlando Foodie Girl. So, yeah, several options. Instagram is the most, I guess, the best way to reach me. It's the most active of the accounts. TikTok is kind of one of those where it's a condensed version of the Instagram, and there's Facebook. So.
And restaurateurs and chefs can reach out to you on your Instagram, just DM and
They do.
come see us, please.
Yes, they DM me, they email me every single day. There's going to be
Nice.
somebody reaching out, and it's for me when they reach out, I want to know what are you doing that's special and different that when I go there is going to really showcase who you are. And I've had restaurants that call me, and after speaking to me, they're like, you know what, we're not ready. And I appreciate that because I tell them, this is what you need to really stand out in the market. Do you have these elements? And they're like, oh, we don't have that yet. It's like, okay, well, then reach out. And they'll reach out a month later when they have their things together.
I mean, get their things together. I mean, that's awesome that you have that power. You know, that someone is saying, you know what, we're not ready to get to cook for you yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of become what Ruth Reichel was for the New York Times in the 70s. You know, she would literally disguise herself so she wouldn't be recognized. She'd wear
Yes.
the wigs and the glasses and the hats and the different things.
Yes.
But this
I
is
do that.
what this has become.
Yes, I oftentimes have to hide going into a restaurant.
I love
really,
that.
I really, really do. I've had the hats on, I've had the glasses, and now I understand because I look at celebrities walking around Hollywood and I'm like, why do they wear those glasses? It just makes them stand out. But with me, it's like no glasses, put a baseball cap on, I still get recognized.
That's cool.
The situation is I have so many local followers that there's always going to be somebody who will see me, whether I'm at the supermarket, at Target, at the gym, And so, you know, I've learned to accept that the whole Central Florida is my family. And when they come up to me and meet me, it's like a new family member that I've met.
That's nice. I like to hear that.
Yeah, but regarding the power in restaurants, for me, it's more of I know what works. I've been doing this for several years. I know the restaurants that have been most successful. And so what I do is I share what I have learned over the last few years with them so that when they come out into the public, they truly come out with an impact. Because I want to make sure they make the strongest impact they can when I go there to present them so that they don't come out soft. They come out as another powerful player in the market.
You know, that is nice to hear because, you know, one would think that you're kind of going in this kind of in your own angle and stuff. I just, you know, want to be famous. But you're actually helping people develop their brand, develop how they want to be, you know, viewed by the public, your public. And I think that's so sweet. That's so real. That's so genuine. You know, you don't see that too often. I'm so much more respect for just hearing this right now. And I'm so glad people are hearing that. And restaurateurs and chefs, keep that in mind that, you know, you're going to get the real deal here. And I like that. That's special. I said it was special.
You're so kind.
So that's a good thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this has been, you know, just delightful, because for me, sharing this time with Orlando Foodie Girl is just so cool, you know, and it's very special. We're in her kitchen. It's beautiful, by the way. I can't wait to cook here.
Yeah, we're going to have a cooking show. We're going to have a cooking something. We're going to have cooking night. We're going to invite the world via Instagram. And then we're going to invite some friends to come enjoy some dishes here. I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to come cook here.
Excellent. Pues, I have to tell everybody that is a wrap. This is Survival of the Fittest, the soup du jour. I'd like to thank all our listeners. I'd like to thank Orlando Foodie Girl for spending this time with us and sharing with you her insight and her special angle that I think is spectacular. So stay tuned. Come in, connect, send us a message, send Orlando Foodie Girl a message, and we'll talk to you soon. Love y'all.